Hello everyone, welcome to today's second stimulus check update video. So this is what we know so far regarding the second stimulus check, the stimulus package, the HEALS Act, and the extended unemployment benefits. I have gone through all the current news and information available, and these are the most relevant ones, most important ones, most up-to-date ones that we have found. As always, I will link them in the description below if you want to check those articles and news out yourself. As we all know, President Donald Trump signed an executive order over the weekend, but instead of just coming out with a new video, I wanted to give it a few days so I could gather some concrete information. As more news comes out, gather them and come to you with some solid information instead of just making another video for the sake of making it. And we do have some concrete information that we will go over in today's video. Just a friendly reminder, this is not a political channel. This is a channel on personal finance and investing. Obviously, we will be talking about the Congress, the Democrats and the Republicans and the president. My only request is, irrespective of which political party you support, whether it's the Democrats or the Republicans, let's keep it civil and respectful towards each other in the comments down below. With that being said, let's get right into it. The first one is from CNBC.com. Trump's executive orders didn't include a second round of stimulus checks. Here's why. President Trump signed 4 executive orders on Saturday, granting Americans financial relief in a number of areas. However, the actions did not provide any funding for a second round of stimulus checks. To get those, Americans may have to wait for Congress to pass its much-debated relief package. Saturday's executive orders defer student loan payments and payroll taxes for many through the end of the year, provide some eviction protections, and grant enhanced federal unemployment benefits. Some experts have already noted that these relief measures may be difficult to implement and could face legal challenges. But the orders did not include funding for another round of stimulus checks because generally, funds for federal programs need to be authorized through legislation passed through Congress. The Constitution mandates that the only Congress has power of the purse. The president cannot unilaterally tax and spend, says Chris Cox, senior tax policy analyst for the Center on Budget and Policy Priorities. The authority to spend comes only from legislation passed by Congress, she says. The stimulus checks were authorized as a one-time payment through the CARES Act, passed by Congress in March. President Trump has no legal authority to extend those payments, Cox tells CNBC Make It. It will take a new law to implement a second round of stimulus payments, says Richard Kogan, a CBPP senior fellow. When it comes to relief measures affected by Saturday's executive orders, those programs may have some flexibility in the existing law that the president can utilize to extend them. That's different than what we're talking about in the case of the stimulus payments, where they aren't existing and ongoing. They have expired, period, he says. The legal situation there is black and white. Trump has previously indicated support for another round of stimulus payments, and the latest relief proposal from Senate Republicans includes another round of relief checks. The Health, Economic Assistance, Liability Protection, and Schools Act, or the HEALS Act, aims to pay $1,200 to individuals earning an adjusted gross income of up to $75,000 and $2,400 for couples earning up to $150K, as well as an additional $500 per dependent. Those who earn more than those thresholds will receive a smaller payment, with the money phasing out completely for individuals who earn $99,000 and married couples with AGIs above $198,000. Lawmakers and the White House have been in negotiations over the legislations since it was unveiled on July 27th. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell told CNBC on Friday that a deal will be struck at some point in the near future. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi agreed the sides will reach a solution, but talks broke down on Friday as major differences remained unresolved. So I hope this gives us a little bit of an insight into where we stand currently. We will take a deeper look in the news articles we will be discussing in a minute. Just a friendly reminder, I try not to cover information I've already covered in the past stimulus check updates. So if you have time, I highly recommend the playlist that I've made for you guys for the second stimulus check updates. I'll link that in the iCard here. Also, if you have any useful information, we ask that you put them in the comments below. That does help out the community. It helps others find that information sooner. And if you think someone will find this video helpful, feel free to share it with them. So, moving on to the next article. The next one is from CNBC.com as well. Trump's $400 unemployment boost would give Americans $708 a week on average. President Donald Trump's executive order to boost unemployment benefits would give jobless Americans $708 a week in total aid on average. Yet, some may get less or none at all, given many caveats to the plan. The president's order, signed Saturday, came after a $600 a week federal supplement to state unemployment benefits lapsed at the end of July, leaving millions of families without additional aid they relied to help pay bills. The order was one of the 4 measures which included aid around the evictions, payroll taxes, and student loans aimed at expanding economic relief for Americans amid the coronavirus pandemic. Some experts are skeptical of the ultimate financial help the orders will deliver. Now let's take a look at the $400 unemployment benefit. Roughly 30 million Americans are collecting unemployment benefits between traditional state programs and a new federal program for the self-employed and other workers, according to the Labor Department. White House officials and senior Democratic lawmakers have been working towards an agreement for 2 weeks on additional coronavirus relief legislation, but the talks stalled amid disagreements over the scope of the bill. House Democrats passed legislation in May to continue the $600 weekly enhancement until early next year. Senate Republicans unveiled their counteroffer, an extra $200 a week, just 2 weeks ago, right before the aid was set to lapse. $300, $400, or nothing? Trump's $400 a week offer falls in the middle and may ultimately be eclipsed by any forthcoming relief deal. There are several caveats to the executive order, however. For one, there are questions to its legality. Even if it doesn't get caught up in lawsuits, many Americans wouldn't get the $400 at all. Those collecting less than $100 a week in state benefits wouldn't be eligible for the additional federal aid, according to the executive order. That amounts to about 6% of people collecting traditional state unemployment insurance, according to an estimate by Eliza Forsyth, a labor economist and assistant professor at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. In other words, about 950,000 people wouldn't get additional federal jobless aid, according to an analyst of most recent Labor Department data. All states set minimum benefit levels, and most set the floor below $100 a week. Lower wage and part-time workers are among the groups that tend to get the minimum payment most often. In addition, those who get federal assistance may get less than $400. The federal government is contributing just $300 of the total, with states left to somehow kick in the rest. Not a given, especially due to their already strapped budgets. That means some recipients may wind up with an extra $300 instead of $400. The federal boost also wouldn't be automatic. States would have to request the assistance and have a system in place to deliver the aid. Trump is using $44 billion from the government's $70 billion disaster relief fund, typically deployed in the wake of weather disasters and the like, for the federal government's share. The money would be administered by the Federal Emergency Management Agency. Eligibility for the extra federal benefits would be retroactive to the week ended in August 1st. The federal supplement would remain in place until December 6th, or the funds running out, whichever happens first, according to the executive order. The Committee for a Responsible Federal Budget estimates that the $44 billion would last only 5 weeks. So guys, that's it for this article. Before we move on to the next one, if you guys found this video helpful so far, or at the very least interesting, give it a thumbs up. Lets me know that you guys found this video useful. The next article is from Forbes.com. Will $400 unemployment extension start soon? Don't count on it, despite Trump's executive order. So we will skip over some of the items that we've already covered in the previous articles and go right to the point. Will states have money to contribute their share? Budgets may mean many states won't participate. The executive order requires states to pitch in $100 per person per week for the Lost Wages program. However, there is uncertainty if governors will sign on to the program. Many are facing tremendous budget pressures due to the expenses associated with containing coronavirus, coupled with a reduction in tax revenues. On CNN, Governor Mike DeWine was asked if his state could afford the new unemployment benefit. The answer is, I don't know yet, he said. Governor Andrew Cuomo tweeted, executive orders can't replace legislative actions. States can't pay 25% of unemployment costs. It's simply impossible. It's bitterly ironic that the executive order asks states to contribute funds when one of the main holdups to a congressional deal was a request by states for up to $1 trillion in new aid to help cover budget gaps. The Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, CBPP, estimates that states' federal budget shortfalls will reach over 20% in the 2021 fiscal year. For example, Kansas forecasts a revenue drop of over $810 million, while Arizona estimates revenues to drop by over $860 million. California expects revenues to decline by over $30 billion in 2020, while New York's tax revenues are estimated to fall by $13 to $16 billion in the next 2 years. States have already earmarked CRF dollars. The money to fund the $100 state payment is supposed to come from a $150 billion Coronavirus Relief Fund, CRF, created by the CARES Act, which states are required to spend by the end of the year. Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin claimed that more than $80 billion remain available, leaving plenty of money to allocate for unemployment assistance. This is accurate but misleading. According to NASPO, while states have only incurred or expended approximately 25% of the funds received, states and territories have allocated nearly 75% of the funds. Given the unpredictable course of coronavirus, many states were careful not to deplete their CRF funds too quickly. It would be irresponsible for states to spend all or most of it in the first 4 months and then have none left to contain and respond to the virus and recession for the rest of the year, noted Michael Leekman of CBPP. Moreover, some states are only distributing aids through reimbursements, meaning that localities must first incur expenses. This leads to a delay in states making payments and makes it appear as if there is more money in the CRF fund than there actually is. Executive order doesn't cover bottom of income distribution. Assuming state government opt into the new unemployment program, Trump's executive order presents other challenges. For example, only out-of-work Americans receiving more than $100 a week in state unemployment insurance are eligible for the federal aid, noted the Washington Post. According to the Post's Jeff Stein, this may block payments from going to the lowest 10 to 15% of unemployment insurance earners. Unfortunately, this means that many workers, specifically self-employed individuals and service workers who rely on tips, may find themselves excluded from the new program. So guys, before we move on to the final phase of this article, just want to ask you, What do you guys think of the executive order that the president signed on Saturday? Do you guys think it's adequate? Do you think it's a good step or not? Please let me know in the comments section below. Unemployment benefits will run out quickly. Trump's orders looks to leverage money in Homeland Security's Disaster Relief Fund, which currently has $70 billion available. His action states that the increased benefits will be available for eligible claimants under the balance of the DRF reaches $25 billion or for weeks of unemployment ending no later than December 6, 2020, whichever occurs first, at which time the Lost Wages Assistance Program shall terminate. According to expert estimates, the money in the DRF may only last 4 to 5 weeks before expiring, a far cry from the December 6th date in Trump's executive order. At that time, the White House would probably need to look to Congress and legislative action to continue benefits. In other words, at best, his order is simply kicking the can a few weeks down the road. So that's it for this article, guys, and here are some useful URLs if you want to dig deeper into this topic. So guys, that is all the news article we will cover in this video. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think of this new executive order. And as more information comes out, I will keep you guys posted. So if you guys want to remain updated on the stimulus check updates, stimulus package developments, you might want to consider subscribing to the channel so you always know when these videos come out. And as always, if you guys want to see videos like this, give it a thumbs up, give it a like. It lets me know you guys found this video helpful or at the very least interesting. So that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.